Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Not surprising at all. Zelensky doesn't want to be asked questions. They all spoke about Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin and all that. And Tucker Carlson said, well, we also sent an invitation, a request for an interview on numerous occasions to Zelensky to come and talk to me, or I can go and ask some questions. Well, Zelensky ignored interview requests, plural, Tucker Carlson reveals. Unsurprisingly, if we would really have a free media and a society, a political system that we are told we have, you would have everybody going to everybody. Like, for instance, people from the left going to the shows hosted by people from the right and vice versa. And you would go in the lion's den to be asked questions, any kind of questions, if you don't have anything to hide, if you're honest. But no, you pick, and that's valid for left and right, whatever left and right we have here. They don't go and they don't, it's like an echo chamber. And what else they do? They have a panel. So let's say they invite me, let's say to a show, and I have over there, I'm going to meet over there about 5 people plus the host, and they will definitely try to, attack me from each and every angle. But since I'm not afraid, why? Because I have nothing to hide, and I think I tell the truth. I don't care. But the problem is these guys who have garbage behind them, they don't want to show up in this kind of setup, because that's a setup. You will be really, really attacked by these guys, below the belt and all that. But if you try to defend yourself the same way, no, you are a bad person. So Zelensky obviously will not pick anybody that would, not offer him the red carpet and tell him he's the greatest guy in the world ever to walk on the face of this earth. So let me show you this article coming from Russia Today, where Carlson says, we sent a lot of invitations and ignored. Why? It's not about the truth. The truth is on the side of the victors. Who wins writes history, and the rest, it's okay. We're gonna ignore it. Who? Our people who are supposed to ask us questions or ask them questions. Look at what kind of baboon show is at the White House press conferences. Now they start a little bit, ask a few questions about this and that, but there's just a feel good. They don't allow questions, and then the guys over there, the officials over there, who their job is to answer the questions, are just dismissing the press as mild as it is. I'm not going to talk this with you. I'm done with you. You're done with me. You are a governmental fucking employee. You were picked and put over there in that position. You were not elected to do a job, and you're not talking to me. Disrespect. But this is the level of our society and political system. Zelensky ignored interview request. Tucker Carlson, 3rd of April 2024. The journalist wanted the Ukrainian leader. I don't understand why these guys in Russia, they call this guy Ukrainian leader. Why don't they figure things out, or at least they have the balls to call him, let's say, the president of Ukraine? Would be more appropriate than the Ukrainian leader. But hey, just an observation, just a question. I think I'm still, as a free person, I'm still entitled to ask questions. As dumb as they might be, I take a chance. To explain why the US should continue funding these war efforts. Again, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. So why do you call him Vladimir here, but the guys call him Volodymyr? So why do you Russify his name, let's put it this way, but you call him Ukrainian President? That tells me these guys are afraid. The Russians, even the Russians are afraid. So do you expect what? People to tell the truth? Even the Russians are afraid to call it the way it is. Who's who and what's what. Snubbed. So Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky snubbed multiple invitations by U.S. journalist Tucker Carlson for an interview, the former Fox News host has revealed. Carlson recently recorded a lengthy interview with Russian President Vladimir Putin, a first by a Western reporter since the conflict with Ukraine began, in which they discussed the ongoing hostilities and Moscow standoff with NATO. The exchange went viral globally with over 200 million views on X, formerly Twitter alone. Carlson then announced his intention to offer Zelensky a similar platform. He did that preemptively, so he cannot be attacked, hey, you just go to that one, but you don't ask this guy. Now, regarding that offering the only interview to a Western reporter, some say that, and I think Peskov also say, that they picked and choose as Zelensky. We're not going to allow these guys to interview Putin. Their reason is because these guys are rude and obnoxious. Not that they ask tough questions. I would like you to watch some of the interviews conducted with Lavrov by the hard talk guy from BBC. And even Lavrov loses his patience with that guy and says, I thought the British people are courteous. What's going on with you? And that's one. And the other one, I would like you to see the interview between Putin and a fucking Austrian reporter. That's revealing. Now, I want you to look at other interviews, watch other interviews conducted with other presidents that we're not supposed to like. Like, for instance, President Ahmadinejad, former president of Iran. Those are not questions that you ask a president. Rude. Not tough, rude. Now, you are a fucking employee of a company that is owned by some people that make money, sell shit. You talk to an elected official, the representative of a country, represents the country. Give the office, not the individual, the respect. They couldn't. So why would Putin stay in front of a fucking with two different color socks and didn't wipe her pussy or something? Being over there talking like Annapur. Why would Putin talk to Annapur? Or why would he talk to, what's his name? Many others. I don't have the names either. But simply they're over there just to, it was another guy who interviewed Putin. People said in the comments over there that he's he's a British guy working for the American company. Can't remember his name, like an FBI agent, whatever. You hear him many times, and he interviewed Putin. Very handsome guy, but he's rude. And that tells us about you more than tells us about the other person that you interview. So yeah, on the other hand, I don't think I saw Tucker Carlson rude on numerous occasions. I saw him rude with maybe 3 or 4 guys, but not rude like this low, like childish rude. And it was with Avenatti. You remember how did he call him? The Avenatti, that lawyer, Stormy Waters, the porn stars, Avenatti. He was calling him the freaky, I can't remember how he was. How is he calling the guy, man? Freaking, whatever. So that's that one that was very, but not at the level even of this. And Avenatti is a freaking lawyer, sleazy balls. And then again, when he spoke with John Bolton, who is a sleazeball as well, and he just was intellectually tough, not, sometimes he called people idiots and so on, like assistant professors, communist assistant professors, okay, but not like of this rank. So yes, I'm not here to defend Putin. He's a big boy, he can defend himself, he feels like. My problem is this is not the same thing why this guy is ignoring. Because he will be asked questions. The other guys are, no, we don't like the questions. We don't like to be disrespected by a freaking employee. The journalist revealed his attempts to contact Zelensky in a video on Wednesday in a monologue before his interview with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Carlson said that he had invited House Speaker Mike Johnson to explain why he wants Congress to, quote-unquote, fund a doomed war. And I'm quoting, "Of course he hasn't responded," the journalist explained. "We also sent multiple requests to Zelensky himself for an interview to explain his position. Of course, he ignored that as well," end quote. He went on to argue that no matter how much foreign money Kiev receives, it cannot defeat Moscow on the battlefield, given Russia's larger population and industrial capacity. And I'm quoting, "It's not working. 2 years in, the war is still going," Carlson said. "Ukraine can't win. Everybody knows that around the world. People are very clear on that. There is no one informed person outside the United States who thinks that somehow Ukraine is going to beat Russia," end quote. A vocal critic of Zelensky, Carlson, he knows that he's not Zelensky. Zelensky is just a middleman, a puppet, a clown. Carlson has accused U.S. news organizations of not being truthful about the origins and nature of the conflict. He noted the media bias was one of the reasons he wanted to sit down with Putin in the first place. In the interview with Carlson in Moscow in February, Putin reflected, "Okay, I'm not going to do that." And he says, Zelensky dismissed the interview as more than 2 hours of bullshit, end quote. Like a child. But I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to reason with you. I just call you a dumbass, and everybody ignore him. Don't hear him. Don't hear to whatever that person has to say. That's the attitude here. In the communist times, they would ban you. Here, no. It's like an order. He's a bad dude. Nobody. Don't give him a platform. But you give platforms to other BS. Well, they are on our side. That's how it works. My side versus your side. The Ukrainian leadership increased. Okay, don't care about that one. I think that these guys should provide interviews, should give interviews to reporters. I think the reporters should press hard and ask crazy questions in a civilized manner. That's all. I mean, you can be tough, but don't be, don't be a tard. Don't go full retard. And no surprise. I'm surprised 10%. I thought that Zelensky will give Tucker an interview to show Tucker how tough he is. But not even that. That tells me, don't give this guy Carlson any authority to interview me. He gives BBC, he gives everybody else on his side. Why? Even Sputnik asked Putin for interviews. No. Sputnik, Russia Today, these guys, they said so. No, why is that? Now, I don't know if Ukrainska Pravda did that to Putin, but again, do it, but be civil. It's an intellectual exchange of, questions and answers. You don't have to say, well, you're small, fat, and bald-headed. I mean, you can do that, but is that the purpose? I mean, that's like kindergarten level. Anyway, my friends, I mean, if you want to make fun with your friends, but that's a different level. I expect a different behavior. All right, my friends, no surprising. Why would he? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.